The Abyss game mode, that is what we're going to be talking about today. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Let's get straight into it. And as you probably already noticed in the background, we are in the Chinese version of the Division 2. And currently right now it has a game mode that we don't have in our game called the Abyss, and I'm going to show you that in just a moment. Obviously, a few things I want to kind of pre-reference before we get into this. There's no plans, as far as I know, for this game mode to come to our game. It's kind of a Chinese exclusive, along with another one that they have, which is like a horde type mode, very Chinese themed. And these have been in the game pretty much since launch, or, you know, around the launch kind of window, a long time anyway. And the Division China has not really had any content since. I know a long time ago when this version kind of surfaced, a lot of people were saying, whoa, they've got so much more content, they've got these extra game modes, they've got this and they've got that. In all honesty, they've not really had anything. We, as the international version, have had much more content thrown at us, manhunts, the finales and things like that. These guys are all stuck on kind of a version before Countdown. They don't have Countdown, for instance, and things like that. They just have the two exclusive game modes that they have, which are, one, like I said, is a horde mode, and the other one I'm going to show you today. Obviously, they have the crazy cosmetics. I know that's very much a thing with our version right now, with Assassin's Creed just coming out, and the NFL-inspired outfits that have just come out as well. China takes it absolutely to the far end of the spectrum. You know, I kind of don't believe that a lot of these should come to our game. For instance, this person here with the bikini on, should this come to our game? You know, absolutely not. This person here with the black tactical, what looks like a Kino outfit, maybe it is the Kino outfit, yeah, that's fine. The other one, I mean, it's a bit outlandish, but could it come into our game as like a streetwear one? Probably. We've had similar previously. The Dino, I absolutely love the Dino, but it's law breaking, right? I think it's yeah, it doesn't really suit the game at all. You know, who are we kidding? So let's head over to the Abyss. Now we've kind of pre-referenced everything I would think we would probably get in the comments. Now, just another heads up. This game yesterday has had a huge balance pass. For people who were kind of maxed out or absolutely paid to win through, you know, the bank and stuff and things like that, they were finding the game extremely easy. We saw just a few weeks ago when I did the China tour with Virtuals, he could pretty much solo some of the hardest content in the game. That's no longer the case for the moment anyway, until maybe the players figure out builds or whatever to get around it. It's had a huge balance pass. My character is very newbie. I've not played for a huge amount of time. In fact, I've got practically nothing. I mean, look at how terrible this looks. My Coyote's mask, the stats are, you know, very low. Everything is insanely low. This is a standard build that the game gives you. There's nothing synergized here whatsoever. But what is interesting to notice is that if I go into the Coyote's mask, you can see it's a tier 3. They have tiers of masks, which we see also in the Division Resurgence. Then that tells you kind of how high the stats on the gear can go and how expensive them stats are going to be going forward for upgrading from the material costs and things like that. You can see here my exotic SMG is only a tier 2, but I can get a blueprint to upgrade that to a tier 3 as well. And funnily enough, Strikers is not best in slot here. You know, Negotiators is much more favoured than Strikers is. But we digress into something else completely. So here we are in the Abyss. As you can see here, this is the kind of lobby area. Very cool. They have these leaderboards up. They have them in the base of operations as well for different things, and over in Summit as well. But yeah, very cool. And then you get the agents here, which are, I guess, leading the way with the leaderboard. And, you know, I was just going to say they look tactical, but that's like a bikini Theo Carnell. That's very similar to the one we just saw in the base of operations. And then we've got a rabbit. So we're going to head in here. And you get the same kind of menus as you do in Descent, but obviously this is called Abyss. as you can see, and we are going to head in. Dino's wild. I hope that answers some questions. They've kind of eased off on the pay to win on the Chinese version. They've made a lot of stuff now grindable to make it so that players who don't want to pay to win can become extremely powerful as well. But it will take you some time. I don't know if you play Marvel Mystic Mayhem, the new Marvel game on mobiles. Essentially, you log in, you can do dailies, you can earn an amount of material that then, you know, after you maybe grinded for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, you can then trade that in to buy what would normally be an expensive mod for your gun, for instance, or something like that. Obviously, you can just swipe your credit card and you can buy that right from the rip, but it has kind of toned off a little bit on the pay to win aspect of the game. Because essentially, you're singling out a lot of people, especially with it being free to play. All right, so I don't really have any idea. I have done some Abyss previously. I'm level 2, you can see at the top right hand corner, and everything's been timed so far. This bit is no different by the looks of it. So I've got 3 minutes to do whatever it is I need to do. Obviously, this is newly designed areas as well. But it's very interesting when it comes to balancing. Early game skills are incredibly powerful. Obviously, I'm not a skill build at all, but my skills do way more damage than my actual gun does. But the health damage that this thing does is rather nice. And there we go, we have completed. You don't have to exit or anything like that. It gives you the materials and your currency and just moves you straight on to the next floor. Which is kind of nice, right? It's a bit of time saving there. So again, we're going to go in. We've got exactly the same room. I do know there is a variety of rooms. I'm not sure if that is, for instance, every 5 rooms or something like that. But we are room 4, so we'll play just a little bit, get an idea of what kind of mission types we will get along the way. And the reason I am a little bit interested in this, oh, that's bad, in this game mode, is because obviously we have seen that we are sharing cosmetics a little bit with this version. So I do wonder then, does that also mean that we'll actually end up sharing bigger assets, for instance, like game modes? You know, could this come to our game? Do I think it should come as like an, you know, a main outlet or anything like that? No, probably not. I think we would probably age of it very, very quickly. It's repeatable. It's a lot like Summit, just in different areas. Obviously, as you can see here, very, very similar mission types and things like that. Very repetitive. And I don't think it kind of warrants it in our game that we would have an upgrade path warrant doing it. Summit's used for something completely different when it comes to the Chinese version, and I think our game would have to have meaning for us to get a game mode, you know, a bit like this. So it certainly isn't something I would advocate for if it's going to take away resources from, you know, doing something special for us. But as you can see, skills are wild at the beginning. But also as well, it shows that, you know, as a character, you know, you're in the Chinese version, you are not always uber powerful. I think a lot of clips people see online, you know, of agents doing, you know, insane damage, one-shotting, you know, bosses and, you know, incursion bosses and doing the incursion solo and, you know, and things like that. And this version is to a point. Yes, okay, you can get very, very powerful. But it is to a point still grounded when you initially start to play. So I am kind of hoping that something different is going to happen now that we have done 5 floors. Are we going to see a different map perhaps? Oh yes, we are. So there we go. So we've done 5 floors on repeat, and now it is actually, rather than auto loading us, we're actually traveling into the abyss a little bit further. And what you find with this is that if I go into just here now and just quickly press this, they have websites linked to the game where you tend to do something in the game and then you can go into the website and then claim your reward. It's a little bit weird. I don't know why it's done like that, but when you do tasks in Abyss, that also is a thing. There's a special page you can go to and claim stuff from that as well. So we'll do one more page, and I think I've probably shown you one more level. Oh right, so this is like a technology type level. That's interesting. Come on, get my SMG stacks on. There we go. It is interesting seeing, you know, the toxic effect that we could get from barrels in the game implemented into a gun. Okay, so on this one I can't. It's a drone killer one essentially. They do have a lot of guns and, you know, different to what we have exotic wise. And that, again, that's talking about something that maybe I would like to see in our game, but they would require an instant balance pass, right? To how they would work. So maybe we would just get the exotic design in the game, perhaps. And maybe the exotic could do something else. Somehow I put bleed on the technology. You put bleed on a server. Nice. And I guess then we work out all the way up to another 4 levels and we'll change map. What is interesting though is this does get harder. I will eventually hit a cap of something that I cannot do. What is the warning here? Straight away you loaded into a warning. Did the mission just... Oh, it's just the drone level. Okay. I thought it had loaded me into rogue agents or something. So I'll leave it there for this one now. What I'll do is I'll just complete, if I can, another 4 levels so that I get to show you another map. So I'll be right back, hopefully. Just a quick one I'll show you. It's one of these that we've also seen from Descent. And everything else has pretty much been the same. So I'll let you see this level here, because then we should be moving up, hopefully. Oh, I threw that over. That's a mistake. Hopefully this is just a very quick kill all. Oh yeah, kill a boss. Where's he at? Funny how you get the boss bar at the top of the screen, just like in the Incursion. Although it's just like a normal in-game boss. Skills really are so good. And there we go, we should move up onto another floor. So the areas are pretty small in comparison to Summit. You know, probably about what, a quarter of the size. They're not huge map designs. But I guess we'll see if there is more or not. But as always, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Definitely interested, you know, would you be interested in actually this coming to our game? I don't think it would make that much of an impact. I think people will get fed up fairly quickly. You know, although yes, it's something new, it's something nice. It's extremely similar to Descent. And it feels like they probably built it to get used to the tech. You know, they copied the systems from Descent and, you know, thought, you know, we'll paste into a newish mode just to kind of get used to how things work. So they built it, so they put it in anyway. It really doesn't feel like it has any other purpose. So this is the other one, very plain actually. Again, this is actually very similar to Descent. We've seen, you know, buildings a lot like this, reused assets and things like that. So I'm going to push a little bit further. I know there is definitely one other set of maps that I would like to show you, so I'll be right back. Okay, last ones. We're going to find our way out of this one now. We start getting purple caches now, so we're nowhere near the good loot, being the low level that we are. And I also can't find the way out. Well, this map's a little bit bigger than I thought it was. We never actually came around here for anything. We're not having too much trouble right now. It's fairly easy. Well, let's see what this next area looks like. Oh. So again, you can see here that this stuff looks like it's been reused from Summit. We've seen these doors a million times. Well, this is like some kind of tech area. Much bigger than the other 3 areas that we have had so far. And it's got an EMP going on, which could be a problem for us. Because we are heavily reliant on our skills. Ooh, maybe I've pushed the boat just too much here. No, my LMG is doing no damage. Yeah, we are in trouble. I think we've probably reached our cap, so we can't rely on our skills. Maybe we can cheese it. Unfortunately, it's going to extend the duration of the video just a little bit. Holy smokes. Oh yeah, we are done for. No, don't kill me. Get him skill. Oh, it's the MP'd. Got him. Unbelievable. Put it down at the wrong place. So rather than complete this area, what I'm going to do is heal up. Obviously, I've hit my limit as far as power creep goes. And we'll have a very quick run around. Just so you can see. But again, very similar to a Summit area. You know, I remember ones where yeah, in fact, it is a rebranded Summit area. We've got this area in Summit. I remember it just earlier, actually. So, yeah, it's definitely just a lot of rebranded assets from the Summit. Although nice, not necessarily too fresh. And probably not something I would want to see too much in our game. Unless it's going to be something that we just get, you know, to no consequence to anything else. That's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I can't wait to see your comments down below. As always, I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.